Who? It's the Jill Show. Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Whew. It is a fabulous day to have a healing circle, to have a book discussion. I am so excited to see you all here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to go ahead and cast a circle of light, specifying that only Source, Creator God, my healing team, and support teams as needed be present for tonight's journeying through spiritual book discussion and healing circle. What an awesome time we are going to have. We'll be talking about pages 24 through 28, and it is just going to be fabulous. I had a few moments of looking at some of this material and going, wow, I feel like I could stay on one page for the entire hour. I'm not going to do that, but there's just so much good stuff in this. So I'm so glad you are here joining me for the beginning of day 3. That's what we are in the book. And so may it be with a blessing of Source that we have a fabulous time tonight and spend a lot of time being in community, knowing that we are so much more than we have been programmed, than we can possibly imagine. And the more we move the fear and pain and anger and those low frequencies out, the more we know the truth of ourselves. So may it be with a blessing. Blessings, and more blessings. With that, we say amen. And there's always a big chorus of aho that goes with that. If you have never heard that before, that's actually a native American response to amen, aho. And so oftentimes I hear it like just as a response because we do so many things in community. So if you want to put into the chat your thoughts about these pages, or you want to say, yes, I read them, no, I didn't read them, you can absolutely do that. There is also an opportunity for you to just check in with yourself and go like, wow, I've got a lot of ... whatever that is. I've got a lot of fear going on. I've got a lot of anxiety. I've got a lot of whatever it is going on. Feel free to pop that into the chat and we'll make sure that that is part of our community, what is that word? Our community intentions. That is our word for the day, community intentions, if you'd like to have something in particular. So, Allah, I love that. You're like, nope, didn't read it. That's okay. Totally fine. And BG, there is a lot going on just out in the world. There is a lot going on, which actually means there's a lot going on in us. We would not see it. Everything that you see out in the world is because it's in you, right? It is how the whole process works. You see it out there, and the moment you see something out there, you can very easily just turn around and go, okay, where is it in me? Doesn't matter what we're talking about. If we're talking about fear, or we're talking about pain, or we're talking about, joy, if, you happen to drive past a wedding and the wedding party comes out and everybody's tossing up confetti and celebrating, you can celebrate right along with them because there is a lot of that reflected in you. So it's not always the bad stuff. Important for us to remember. But we often see that, right? We have some of that training that tells us look for the bad, kind of scope it out. There must be something going on. You need to make sure that you're paying attention, because you never know when the rug's going to be pulled out from underneath you. So that actually is addressed right here in the very first paragraph on page 24. What stands before you today in an awakened state is a new requirement to release an idea that things cannot be or will not be, that you did not believe could be possible. There you go. We're going to go ahead right off at the beginning is release more ideas of those things that you don't think are possible. And I believe this is probably the fourth, fifth, sixth time I have read that paragraph. And when I read it last night, I went like a wow. Wow, 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 wow. All the places where I believe healing isn't possible. Like for a long time, I was just making it the very general where I think things aren't possible. Well, I don't think I'm ever going to get to the moon. Well, I don't think we're ever going to solve the national debt in my lifetime. And then last night I read it again and it had a moment of, wow, it's where I think that the things in me can't be healed. And I am happy to give everybody a healing on that, where you have an idea that whatever it is that you are carrying around cannot be healed. Does not matter what we're talking about. You could have, some sort of diagnosis. You can have some sort of idea that you're carrying around. You could have a big belief system that is complex and constructed of you're not worthy and you're not powerful enough and you just never get what you want and all of that. And that too can be healed. So we're going to just start right off with that. If you want, feel free to ask the question, where am I holding in my body a lot of that belief that it is not possible, I can't be healed? Where is that? I tried, Jill. Try to answer the question. Just as a note, when you go to write a comment, you can put a comment in the chat for everybody to see, but you can also put a comment in the chat if you just want me to see, and I'll try to keep them all straight. Yeah, Jill, it absolutely makes sense where, we can get our panties in a bunch over, is it out there? Is it in me? Was it in me first and then it's out there and all of that stuff. And we just have to keep reminding ourselves that we in a body want to make things complicated. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the only one who does that. I just want to make things complicated. Like it can't possibly be that easy. It must be harder than that. And I give myself healings regularly when I'm like, that's not me trying to make it complicated. That's the low frequencies that are trying to make it complicated. So yeah, great awareness for all of you. Joanna, third eye and heart, Janelyn and Jill, your sternums. Yeah, I got a sternum here as well. Cricket, a brain stem. Janet, your heart and third eye. Yeah, there's a lot. And if you are listening to this for the first time and you're like, I don't know what you said, don't worry. There's a whole bunch of people who say that same thing. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by where is it in my body. And the more you listen, the more you may have like, oh, now I have an awareness of what you mean in my body, because I feel like there's suddenly a ping over here on the side of my head. So I don't know what that is, but I could just say it's on the side of my head, and that's perfect. Don't have to use any fancy words. No fancy words. Gentle and I can accept peace can be attained. Life doesn't have to be suffering. Yeah, we have a lot of ideas of that. And we can make ourselves crazy trying to figure out where it came from. Well, there was that time that my mother, and then there was the time that this happened, and then there was a time that, blah, 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 blah. The truth of the matter is it doesn't really matter where we picked it up from, how it came to be, the idea that we have. We just want to heal it. We just want to continue to heal it. And so they actually, going back to the book, they talk about they're about to take us on a journey well beyond what we have known. So we can already know that we don't know, and that's fine. It's completely fine. And the infrastructure of reality that we've utilized to know the self through must be altered as part of this passage. What? Basically, it means all the ideas that we have had about how things are done, are going to be transformed. And they repeatedly remind us that we are going through transformation. Now more than ever, I think everybody understands that. The world kind of looks like when I clean out my garage. Throw open the door, start pulling stuff out, sorting through. I'm over here, then I'm over there, then I'm over here, and then, oh my gosh, look at all that stuff over there. And in like a half an hour, 45 minutes, I turn around and look down the driveway and go, oh my God, what have I done? Look at this mess. That's kind of what the world looks like now. There have been a lot of things that have been hidden that have not come to the light for us to recognize them. And we're, one at a time, reaching in, pulling something out, taking a look at it and saying, okay, does everybody see this? Everybody see this? Everybody see this? Anybody got an opinion on it? What are we going to do about it? And sometimes it looks like we're going backwards. And sometimes it looks like we're just standing still and not even focused on it. But what we are doing is creating the world anew. That is the title of the book, A World Made New. And that's exactly what we're up to out in the world. And so there's lots of times where we're like, what the heck? What is going on? We are looking at a new way of knowing. And they tell us that it's an operating system, and it's the operative system, the way of knowing that you have utilized thus far. So the way of knowing must be understood. We've used a lot of filters, a lot of ideas. We have been taught from a young age how things look and what things are supposed to be. And all of that is being revealed for us to look at and go, do we really think that? Is that really what we want? We can use women as an example. Like, should women really have the right to vote? No, I am definitely on the bandwagon that women have the right to vote just like men. But that is a great example where there might be some people who are like, I don't think so. I grew up in a time period when women didn't have the right to vote, and women stayed in the home, and women did this and women did that. Well, we get an opportunity to take a look at those things that say this is how it's supposed to be. Well, is it? I love this example. While you walk on a planet and you see what's on the crust of the earth, the landscape before you, you don't remember how deep the earth is, how far it goes down. You look at the surface level of everything, but you really don't understand that this surface is informed by everything that came before it. I'm telling you, I've read this probably 10 times now. And I go, each time I remember my geology teacher in high school talking about the volcanoes that went off. And the volcanoes went off and they covered the earth. And then some of that volcanic ash gets broken down, and then other things happen, like repeatedly, like all the layers that have landed on the surface right outside of my house. All the different things that have been there. We could just talk about all the different kinds of poop over the millennia there has been where my house sits. But we don't think about that stuff, right? We just think about the surface. We just think about what the grass looks like and how pretty the grass is. Maybe that's just my neighborhood. Anyway, so they're using that as an example of how there's many, many, many layers. Everything that's come from underneath where my pretty grass lies. Kind of like me, right? The many, many, many layers that I am made up of, all the things that have happened to me. But I tend to just look at the surface things like, oh, do I look good? Can you see my wrinkles? You know, how does everything look? Do I look like, how does my teeth look, right? We tend to think of just that, but there's so much more going on. The legacy that you have inherited, known in separation, claims each individual in one requirement: to relearn the who that they are beyond the old self that has been utilized to navigate the small self and its reality. What does that mean? We want to look beyond all the things that fall into the category of our small self. My personality, my fears, my pain, my anger, my beliefs, my judgment, my all of that stuff, my shame, my blame, all of that stuff. Because that's not the truth of me. So I want to just look beyond all of that small stuff, all of the things I call my reality, and we want to look at our true self. The true self has a mandate. I'm up at the top of page 25. A mandate and a requirement. Yes, I love these things. That it will not be limited by the old. That it will know the self beyond the simple systems that the small self utilizes. That it will claim itself in rightful place as the inheritor, the one who inherits the great divine. We are a soul in a vehicle we call a human body. And we get healings on that. Everybody who goes, really? You think so? I don't know if I believe that. Healings, healings, healings. We have been programmed. What? Maybe there's those of us who really know, have that idea. Oh yeah, we have been programmed. How are y'all doing? Everybody with me? You all good? If you would like, ask where you have a big piece of programming that you would like to move tonight. I'm going to move some programming. Yes. Where is my big piece of programming? My big piece of programming is right here in my frontal lobe, my forehead. A big piece of programming. Now, if you'd like, you can actually ask to see your programming that looks like a certain way. Maybe you want to see it as a little floppy disk or a little USB or something like that. But we're going to transform that. And this is the coolest thing. When you get enough of that stuff transformed, we can't do it all tonight, right? This is kind of like a little taste of it all. When you get enough of that stuff transformed, you start seeing things more clearly. So I was at Disney World. That wasn't this past weekend, it was the weekend before. I was cracking up. I am the biggest fan of Disney. I love Disney. My kids were raised on Disney. When I first started doing healing work, my higher self gave me everything in Disney references because I would understand them. And as we were walking around the park, I was entertained by how much programming there is in the park. And we all know this. We buy into it, right? If you've ever bought a pair of Mickey ears or a Mickey t-shirt or Minnie or any of the other characters, yeah, you've agreed to it and it's perfect. But it's fascinating to watch how much programming there is. And the more we move it, the more you start going, oh, now I get to be in choice. Do I want to buy that? Do I want to sign up for that? Is this what my higher self is saying to me to do? It's very cool. Back of the head, third eye, brainstem, brain, yes, all those places. Lots of those things. And listen, nobody here is a victim. That's in my notes. No one here is a victim. We're not a victim of anything. We came here, incarnated here on this low frequency planet to be of service. We didn't come here to be victims. Part of being here on the planet means that we forgot who we are. We forgot that we are powerful. It's all part of the design. And here's the really cool piece. They talk about it in the book. They do. The middle of page 25. So I move more of these programming pieces for all of you. You got that? Excellent. Nice to have a healing team. The middle of the book. Now, true legacy, the monad, if you wish, the divine come as you and expresses through you. So we're talking about your higher self. Calls all things to it in divine order. Underline that phrase, divine order, in perfect order. As the requirements of the individual must be met in experiential ways, any true teaching must be borne out in experience. Any true teaching must be learned experientially. They said the same thing 3 times at least. You are a soul, a higher self, a monad, a true legacy, having an incarnation in a human body. There are rules, like universal rules, cosmic rules, that say everything happens in divine order. It happens in divine perfection. It happens in divine timing, all saying the same thing. And that in order for you to go up in frequency, you must have experiences. You are having experiences. That's how we grow and evolve. The requirements of the individual must be met in experiential ways. We got to have experiences. We got to go out there and do things. I'm having this moment of Miss Frizzle with the magic school bus. More magic coming in, please. Yes, thank you. I'm happy for all that more magic. Magic is a green frequency. I always think about it kind of like Tinkerbell's colors, that green magic. It is a frequency as well as something you can do when you can make things disappear. It is a frequency, and one of the best things that the frequency of magic does is it helps dissolve or alchemize the frequencies of doubt. Now, if we are talking from an energetic standpoint, I would tell you it's atheist energy. We call it atheist energy because it tells us that energy isn't real. which totally cracks me up because we walk around all the time. Oh my God, my phone died. It runs on energy. The lights are energy. I mean, just how we move, calories are energy. But atheist energy, doubt, huge, huge, huge here on the planet. Ginormous here on the planet. And so we have lots of magic coming in to help us alchemize more of that doubt. Any of you who just said, what the heck is she talking about? I'm not sure I believe her. I don't know. That's atheist energy. And you can always ask for more magic to transform that. Okay. Are you all having fun? Is this like the bomb? Is this working for you guys? Are y'all going, yes, give me more of that, please? If you're not, I'm happy to change. I can't change my personality. Might be able to change some of the jokes I was going to do. All right. Yes. Yeah, Jill, that's kind of that green like the heart. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that the bomb? Magic, magic, magic. Yes. Okay, so we have to have experiences. We have to have experiences. All of us are like, can I just skip to the front of the line, miss all these experiences? We're missing the boat. Jill, I love that. Your motorcycle is that color. Riding on magic. We are missing the boat if we want to take away the experiences that we're having. I think that's the beauty of being older. Now I'm like, oh, there really is some benefit to all those things I've done. Wow, look at that thing that I did 20 years ago. It's now gone all the way around and I get to see what an awesome thing it is. Yes, that's part of the beauty of getting old. So, still in the middle of page 25. Our intention here is to call you forth, one and all, with your permission, to what expresses beyond the old system, the old legacy, the old way of comprehending, the who that you've never truly been. Once you know the full meaning of the claim, I know who I am in truth, and its realization operates through you, you are claiming the kingdom. The kingdom. Now, if you're like me, I did a whole little do I want to claim the kingdom? What is the kingdom? Is there a benefit to it? Yes. Claiming the kingdom. Let's just wipe away all those old ideas, those religious perspectives and opinions and things like that. The kingdom is the place where there is no fear. The kingdom is the upper room. The kingdom is the place where fear doesn't reside. I want to live where there's no fear. I don't think I'm going to get there in this lifetime. I don't think this world is going to get there. When we continue farther on in the book, they talk about actually the time period when we will be in the third wave, and it's about 250 years from now. Isn't that good news? We're all like, I don't know. But feel free to ask your higher self if you're coming back for the third wave. That's always the bomb. Come back for a third wave. What the heck are we here for the first and the second for? The third wave is where it's at. Okay. So, we have experiences. We go up in frequency. And we keep moving those low frequencies that get in our way. If you want, you can turn the page 26. Imagine a hum, a vibrational hum that is always present. And what this hum is doing is actually altering what it encounters, claiming what it encounters in right accord. Okay, what's right accord? Right accord can simply be understood as the expression from the upper room. So everybody hum along with me. How cool is that? That is a vibrational hum that is always running through you. And you're walking through your day and you bump into some judgment. Judgment, not a high frequency. And your hum goes, ooh, let's heal more of that. And so you get a healing. And then you keep on going and you have something that ticks you off to no end. Oh, but we have a hum. Your hum starts to heal that. Yes. Starts to heal the anger, the pain, the whatever it is that you're going through. Go ahead if you want. Ask where you have some pain that you would like to move, because oh my goodness, I have one that just happened right back here, not at the back of my neck, kind of like my upper shoulder. See, you don't have to get it right. You don't have to know those particular spots. It's right about here. Jill Starnum, happy to help you with that. Yes. We get to move more of that. Toes, 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 toes. Hey, Kate. Neck and shoulder between the shoulder blades. Awesome place. Jill, right foot near big toe. And whether you are aware of where your spot is, you're getting a healing. Because there are lots of us who are like, I don't know what you're talking about. And it's not like God, source creator God is sitting over there going, oh, well, if you don't know, you don't get it. That just cracks me up. Oh yeah, because God's like, oh, you got it wrong. Answer's wrong, 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 wrong. No, doesn't matter. Everybody gets it. BG, your psoas muscle. See, BG knows where her psoas muscle is. I have a general idea of where that is. It's perfect. Janet, your knees. Knees, head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Okay, awesome healing. So, fun little piece of information right here on page 26. Now, in the upper room, there are levels of expression. When I read that, I was like, I didn't know that. I just thought the upper room was just the upper room. I don't know that they actually tell us exactly what levels of expression there are, just in case you were like, hey, I really want to know. We invite you to the upper room and invite you to maintain the expression here. We comprehend the difficulty that you encounter because so much of what you created was created in fear, and you are bound to your creations. Listen, 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 listen. You are no different than me or anyone else. We have created loads of stuff in fear. We didn't know any better. No one told us, right? Now, if you're young, if you're on the young end of the spectrum, you didn't pick up as many of those low frequencies, but they're still here on the planet. You go to the grocery store, there's fear. God, look at these prices. Oh my God, they're charging that. I've got to pay for that. Oh, that's crazy. Fear is everywhere. You can't help being bound to your creations of fear. The stories we've been carrying around. Everybody take a look. Where are you holding a backpack filled with your stories? They use the example, that difficult separation, that very hard childhood, the things that you chose as a result of your life, whatever yours is. Shouldn't have taken that job, shouldn't have moved to that place, I never should have trusted them, whatever it is, right? Where is your backpack? You might see it as luggage. Stuff that you've been carrying around that has been informing you that your life is blank. We are going to give you a healing. We're going to alchemize that backpack and remind you of this claim. Behold, I make all things new. You're walking along in your life and you find something that's really triggering you. Behold, I make all things new. Behold, I make all things new. And you, behold, I make all things new. Yes. Great awareness, everybody. Great awareness, Kate. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. If you want to claim a truth to just carry around with you, behold, I make all things new. And perhaps it will remind you that you're going to re-see it all. Maybe have a little moment of like, oh yeah, there's a lot going on besides what's on the surface. And I want to just keep creating it with more love. To be reknown is to be made new. The act of being reknown has been discussed again and again. It's true, but we'll say it again. The monad is you. Monad, higher self, soul. The divine principle operating is you. Someday I'm going to do a post about all the words they use for that. Is what does this work? It is the claim of freedom as expressed through the being you are. Your higher self, we're just going to make it really simple. Your higher self has the really big picture of what's going on, understands where you're going, what experiences you're going to have, what karma you are clearing with people. I was in the car. Was that yesterday? I was in the car on Saturday with a friend of mine, and her sister sent her a text, and she was really triggered by her sister's text. And I said to her, see, that's why she's not my sister. And she looked at me and she goes, what does that mean? I go, because you get to get a healing on being triggered, and she doesn't trigger me in the same way. It's a really great thing to be triggered. It's a really great thing to get healings. And you really can trust that your higher self is on it. Your higher self is like, we're on it like nobody's business. Did you know that's why you're here tonight? Your higher self was like, oh yeah, we're going. And watch when Bonnie sends a text message to you with the link. Because I don't always do that. Don't always count on it. But I got the ding. Oh, send these people the link to Zoom so they'll be there. How cool is that? Your higher self is like, tap, 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 tap. Yo, Bonnie, tap, 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 tap. Yo. I love that. I love that. Okay. Am I keeping up with all the healings? Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. Okay. We all have our own ways of understanding and relinquishing the old ways. Okay. Here's what you got to say. 27, the first full paragraph. We will take no one here who is not prepared for it, or who is unwilling to let go of the very things that would dampen their light or hinder their true expression. And then everybody dropped off. The great yes that is required here is a yes at a level of personality. Everybody say yes, yes. I am willing to be reknown and of the true self who commandeers this change. Yes, yes, yes. I'm willing to let go more of my need to control everything and just say yes and trust that my higher self is going to do what I need to do. I actually posted today, I got a chuckle out of it, on Instagram, the scene from Dirty Dancing. There's actually a couple scenes of it, but if anybody remembers Dirty Dancing, where she is learning to do the lift, and the scenes where she's running up and she stops short, and then she's running up and she, starts to jump in his arms, and they're in the water and they both go under. Those scenes, I posted it on Instagram today because I thought it was the perfect analogy for me trying to trust my higher self. My higher self is Patrick Swayze. I am Jennifer, or whatever her name is. It's escaping me at the moment. Somebody's going to tell me that. And I am learning to trust my higher self. And then in the end, it all works, right? It all flows. It's all very easy. The dance goes. It's perfect and true. Nobody puts baby in a corner. That's what we're doing. If you want to use a movie analogy, we are learning to trust our higher selves, just to trust how everything shows up. Now, that doesn't mean you're like, okay, I'm just going to let it happen. But you start saying to yourself, when something shows up in your awareness, that it is yours to do, whatever it happens to be. Great examples are escaping me at the moment. But something shows up in front of you, you're like, oh, I guess that's mine to do. It wouldn't show up in front of you if it wasn't yours to do. And the same is true with healings, right? You walk into a room and that one person that just rankles you. That's not a word I use all the time, but that's the word I got. Rankles you. And you are like aggravated to no end. Oh, let me just take a moment to laugh, because this must be my higher self that's putting this situation here for me to heal more judgment, for me to heal more anger, for me to have a conversation with this person and say, I'm really sorry for how I've treated you. Trusting that it all shows up exactly as it's meant to, in divine timing, divine order, divine perfection, because your higher self has to have the experience. You have to have the experience. Every time I would try to walk away from it, it shows back up again. So I might as well go ahead and have the experience. The aspect of self that ushers you through this process may be seen as the soul. See, I got another name. And its alignment and its claims is what promises you that the good that awaits you has been prepared and is yours for the receiving. Notice we said receiving, yours for the receiving. It is already yours. You already have everything you need. Where is it that you doubt that you have everything you need? Come on. Maybe I need to have one of those clocks. Who is it that has that clock? Da na 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 da na na da na 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 da na na na. I know you all were singing with me. Jill, frontal lobe, awesome. Mine is my third eye. If you didn't know you had a third eye, it's a piece, a part, energetic anatomy. Everybody's got it. It is not just for clairvoyance, here's the little tip you might want. Your third eye is not just about clairvoyance. You actually have clairvoyant channels throughout your entire body, and there are big crystal boxes feeding your clairvoyant channels in your knees. It is Jeopardy. In your knees. You have them everywhere. You have them all over your body. But your third eye is also about how you see the world, how the world sees you. So when you doubt that you're enough, when you worry that people don't know how amazing you are, ask for a healing for your third eye. And then just for the fun of it, ask for a gift. Watch, let's practice. Everybody ask for a gift. Everybody ask for a gift. If you want to put it in your third eye, you can. How do you do that? How do you ask for a gift? Yo, I'd like a gift, please. Who is answering me? Well, first of all, my higher self and all those other names that they like to use in this book. Source is the biggest gifter. All you have to do is ask. Your healing team. The field. There's lots of gifts available. You can literally reach up into the field and pull a gift down. So I have a gift over here. I have a little diadem, a little crown, and it fits neatly in my hand. It's that small. And I'm going to put it right there in my third eye. And you all can have a crown, you can have an orb, you can have cubes, you can have flowers, you can have an elephant, crystalline elephant. Over here, I have a pyramid. And that I'm going to put up here in my translator. It's another piece of spiritual anatomy. Stay with me, man. If you are not following me on Instagram, there's a lot of fun stuff that's happening on Instagram now for me. You're missing out on a few gifts. Yours for the receiving. Allow it to come in as it can be held. And what will be held through the reading of this text is a level of tone that you have not known yet. Beachy, I'm glad you asked. It's Bonnie L. Sachs, all one word, at Bonnie L. Lynn Sachs, S-A-X. Yes. A level of tone that you haven't known yet. Now, is that a scary thing if you find yourself being a little happy to give you a healing on that? Because it's always given to you in resonance with you. Not necessarily in resonance with your body, which is sometimes why we have those bangs, those oh my gosh, because sometimes the light comes in and it creates kind of a bang for the body, and the body's kind of like, what the heck? So you're always getting healings in resonance with where you are. Yay, BG, yay. Okay. They talk about it at the bottom of page 27. For those of you who are new to Paul Selig's channel text, that they're always about the guides. Paul Selig calls them the guides. The guides are Melchizedek. Melchizedek are the enlightened archangels that are supporting this planet and its rise up in frequency. They always say this, and we must ready the new student as well as the seasoned one for what she can manage, what he can adhere to, and what may be allowed and aligned through the great I am principle that seeks its expression through you. Each text has vibration and tone, and they are always aware that somebody might just come along and pick up a book out of order. And so they are always preparing us, preparing our bodies for what we're going through. Hey, maybe that's what I am. I'm part of the preparation. Huh. Listen, healings for all of us where we do not feel powerful enough, where we do not see just how amazing, powerful, creative, magical we are, because probably 6 years ago, I had this awareness that I was going to be reading Paul's books and I was going to be doing something with them. And I kept thinking, oh, not me. I'm not very good at that. I don't know what the books are. I don't know what any of that is. And so I just kept passing it off and passing it off and passing it off. Now, my wisdom, that piece where you're like, oh, I can see what I did then. And now I know that it was perfect how it happened because I needed to grow into being someone who could teach this work. It's perfect. But I always entertain myself with that. Oh, that's right. We have to keep reminding ourselves that we're growing, we're evolving, we're going up in frequency, and everything that we want will come to us in divine timing, divine perfection, divine order. Joanna, that one was definitely for you. Stepping into your purpose. It all happens exactly as it's meant to. You just keep trusting. Do what's next. It might be the wackiest thing in the world, but just do what's next. Do what shows up. As the initiate, the person who's new to this work, progresses through a cycle of realignment, she is known and then reknown as she has always been. Keep in mind, you have not always been this age, this gender, this idea of self that you operate in. When you know who you are and you are realized at this level, the aspect of you that has access to all knowing, all truth is present and expressed. You are always present. You, the big capital letter U, your higher self, always present, not necessarily in your body. Your higher self has no interest in being in these bodies, but your higher self is always tuned into you, always knows what's going on. You can trust that. More healings for all of us in the places where we struggle to trust. There's a lot of people who have that in their throat. So here's the question, perfect timing. What does this mean in a very practical way? What does all this stuff mean? You are not the sage. You are not the oracle. You are operating in tandem with true mind, with your higher self. Not the small self's idea of mind, but divine intelligence that may be aligned to and received, and then received again and again and again as it's required by you. Knowing happens in an instant. God is only experienced in an instant, and it is always an instant if an instant is now. Bump, bump, bump. Watch all that. Watch the gifts. To align to this level of receptivity is not only a challenge, it's a choice. Say yes. You can't you, the next couple of sentences are that you are perfectly safe. You are well protected. Nothing is going to happen as you go along this path. The fail safes that are put into place are incredible. You might feel like you're going up in frequency way too fast. You might feel like you have way too much fear than you can possibly handle, but that's not the truth. It's not the truth of you. It's just the fear trying to tell you something that is not true. You are simply claiming the divine self, true mind, that is your inheritance at the level of tone that you have not been present for while maintaining form. All we're doing is stuff that we've never been able to do before. That makes me laugh. Wow. Healings for all of us on doing something that we've never done before and trusting that it's all unfolding perfectly. How's that? How is that for a process? So, because we're getting really close to that hour, I want to let you know we are going to be meeting on St. Patrick's Day. The green gifts are amazing. It is going to be a huge opportunity for healings. If you like the color green and you are home, join me. We are going to be getting so many gifts. Creativity and magic and restoration. The gifts are going to be amazing. We're going to play in ways that we haven't played before while we finish up day 3, which is just an itty bitty part of 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. I am in the upper room. I have come, I have come, I have come. Behold, I make all things new. It will be so. God is, God is, God is. It is going to be an amazing adventure that we are going on. I love that we are doing this in bite-sized pieces, that we have an opportunity to really chew on it, chew on all of the words and really see, oh, well, this is how I can use it in my life. Oh, this makes sense. And if you don't have a moment, at least once of, oh, this makes sense, let me know. Seriously, you can pop it into the chat right now, or you can get on Facebook, get into the group, and the group is called Journeying Through. Get into the group and say, yo, I got everything except this piece. Or I didn't get a single thing except this piece. Whatever it is that you need help with. This is a community you can count on. This is a community you can come to and ask for help. I am here for you to help you go up in frequency, help you understand this book. You understand this book, and you got all the rest of them. Boom, boom, boom. I'm telling you, it's divine, 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 divine. Healings for all of us, where you may think that you are not going up in frequency fast enough. You're doing it perfect. You're doing it exactly the way your higher self wants. Trust, 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 trust that. Okay, what do I have to say? 2 weeks, we'll be back here and there will be loads of gifts simply because we can do that. St. Patrick's Day, whatever. We're going to do Green Day, green, 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 green. Lots of gifts for sure. Wow, there's still lots of gifts that are coming in now for all of us. So we're going to be back here in 2 weeks. Catch me on Instagram, catch me on Facebook, join the Facebook group Journeying Through, bring your questions. Ask the silliest things you can think of. Like if it comes into your mind, ask it, because you are not the only one having that experience. I guarantee you, I probably had it 15 minutes before you like popped it into the chat, and I'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe you actually are experiencing the same thing I am. That's how this works. We're in community. We're all one. I absolutely love and bless each and every one of you. And I truly want you to know that you are so loved and supported in every way you can imagine. So trust that. And definitely join me back in 2 weeks and let me know whatever I can do to help you out. I just realized, awesome, Jill, thank you. I was like, oh wait, I have questions and answers. I was Jill telling me that she was reading. Yes. Awesome. With that, I seal the field unto the light of that one true source creator God, the one who is so generous with gifts, with love, with everything we could possibly want. I thank my support teams, my healing team, but I most definitely thank each and every one of you who are like, yes, I'm here for it. Yes, I want more. Yes, I want access to the upper room. Yes, look at those, all those keys coming in. Yes, I want all of that and so much more. Thank you. I am eternally grateful and happy to have you here. Love and bless you guys. I will see you in 2 weeks. Take care.